Great to have you on the Product Talk Tuesday. As you're watching the recording, please say hello. So Webinar Jam just started. So this is Danielle, and I am a licensed clinical social worker, doctor of clinical psychology student, and bring to you every single Tuesday the best knowledge that I am studying in my doctorate on brain health. So everything holistic brain health, that is my entire focus. So when you're joining me, please say hello, where you're joining from. And those of you who are new that are maybe watching this for the first time, please say hi to me. I love to meet new people. I'm a total social bug, so I like to be able to connect with tons of different people. So my topic today is actually going to be on metabolism. And at first I was just going to do metabolism. And I'm like, that's kind of weird because I talk about the brain. So let me look into, so I kind of did some research. Is the metabolism connected to the brain? And we know what's funny is it actually is. So we're going to go into metabolism and the brain today. How cool is that? I was kind of excited. Hello, everybody. Hi, Marianne and Pat. I'm seeing some of you joining and saying hi. You can also on Facebook share this to your groups. It's just a great way to get some healthy brain health education as well as product education to other people. So those of you who are new with me, I have been using holistic practice for a long time, and I do a lot of different modalities. I really concentrate on food and nutrition as well as mindset as well as essential oils. These things are all just crucial. Your body-mind connection is absolutely essential when you want a healthy brain. So that's what we're going to talk about today. One thing I want to mention is, happy 4th of July next week, right? So I will not be doing, on the 4th of July is the next Tuesday, I will not be doing a product talk. I run a camp for girls, teenage girls, 50 about of them, during the week of the 4th of July. So I'm going to be up running a camp in like a 90, 100 degree weather with tarantulas and, rattlesnakes here in California. So it'll be fun. So I will not have reception, but either way, happy 4th of July next week. I wore my awesome shirt to support to support America and the freedom and all the things that we are so blessed to enjoy. So anyway, why don't I get into the topic? One last thing before I get into the topic is the Holistic Emotional Wellness Summit. If you haven't already registered, it will be phenomenal. All on brain health, mental health, emotional wellness, holistic emotional wellness, obviously, because that's what it's called. So it's the holisticemotionalwellnesssummit.com. And you can go there to register and learn more about it. So let's dive in. So metabolism and the brain. Interesting, huh? This is a new topic for me. So I am going to, kind of look at some of my notes from the research that I've done. Anybody who wants to be a scribe or a commenter is what I like to call it. Comment and writing down some of the things, some of the tidbits that I give you would be helpful, and we'll get going with it. So metabolism. So I didn't realize that your insulin plays actually a pretty big role in mediating normal brain function. I want to go down to this other statistic. The brain is an energy-intensive organ. 25% of the total body glucose is utilized by the brain for proper brain function. That's a lot. Another thing it said in here is, if there's association between disruptions in glucose metabolism and psychiatric disorders. This is actually not a new science. They proved this a long time ago. In fact, people with depression have about 60% higher chance of developing type 2 diabetes. That's how close the metabolism and insulin are related to the brain. Isn't that interesting? I find that interesting. I had no idea how much insulin really affected the brain, but it does. It's that sugar energy, right? And then diabetes, people with diabetes, type 2 diabetes, have a higher risk of developing depression because of that. So I read further into this, and it says that metabolism, it also affects Alzheimer's risk, Huntington's disease, and Parkinson's disease risk. So it's absolutely tied into your neuronal communication. And in fact, it said over here, I have lots of different notes here I'm going through. It plays a role with dopamine circuits in the brain, which again is tied to the mood and everything, as well as pleasure and addictions is with the dopamine circuits. And it plays a role in memory and learning, as well as mediating the effects of stress in the brain. So last thing I got from here is the insulin. So what it does, used by the brain, about 25% of the body's glucose, what do they call it? glucose utilization is required for proper brain function, and that plays a role in neuroplasticity. So that's the ability in the brain to make new neural connections and neural communication. Neuromodulation, meaning modulating the amount of neurotransmitters. Like if you need a little more serotonin or a little, balanced out dopamine, that's what the role of this, glucose energy does for the brain. And then neuronal growth, so just the growth of brain cells. So pretty important that your metabolism is healthy for the brain. Isn't that incredible? I had no idea when I went to go study this, so I was kind of excited. So what I'm going to tell you is that for disorders, I'm not going to tell you that, all these healthy things are going to correct a disorder. But what I can tell you is that a healthy person can maintain a healthy metabolism, which can reduce the risk for some of these things, depending on genetics and other things you expose yourself to, right? We can absolutely improve our metabolism, which will improve our brain function. And that's all in your hands that you can do. That's why I love to talk about brain health. So here's one of the things. We know that nutrients, vitamins and minerals, so a vitamin complex will be very important for your healthy metabolism, because without those nutrients, it's not going to be able to function. All the other organs are able to function properly. We don't get enough. We may think, well, I eat a lot of blueberries. It doesn't matter. You are eating, even if you eat a lot of blueberries, do you do that every single day, all year round? Or are you even getting, you're getting blueberries that maybe you're depleted, the minerals are depleted from the ground. So you don't know what's going on with all of our soil. And so it's really important to do a vitamin. I love the Lifelong Vitality Pack. That's the vitamins I use. It's from doTERRA. And I used to use other vitamins before that. I've used vitamins my entire life. And honestly, thank you for being Scribe. I love that you guys are commenting for me. Honestly, I'd used vitamins my whole life. And when I started using doTERRA's, it was only because my friend told me I should. I didn't really care because I never noticed a difference. I thought you just take them and you just feel fine. You don't really notice a difference. I started taking the Lifelong Vitality Pack, and no joke, within about 2 weeks is when I kind of realized I'm feeling a little like more energy, like just healthier, and my gut was feeling a little bit more happy and regulated. But it was within like the first 2 months that all these different things that just weren't functioning well for my body decided to like start working. It's like it gave it the vitality, right? It's cellular vitality that it gave it to just do what it needed to do in the liver, in the gut, in the small intestine, large intestine. I mean, it's just amazing, and in the stomach. So vitamins are going to be crucial for a healthy metabolism. Exercise. Okay, number 2 is going to be exercise is really crucial. Number 3 is sleep. Getting a really 8 hours. How many of you guys get 8 hours of sleep every night? I pretty much get 7.5, 8. So 7 or 8 hours is really needed. If you haven't yet tried, there's a Serenity Complex soft gels that are really good for sleep. And I'm going to tell you, I started using. Start back here. I travel a lot, and every time I travel, do you guys have weird habits when you travel? I do. I do not sleep well. My thing is, I get to where I'm going, and I take about 2 to 3 days until I can actually sleep through the night. And so I will get to a hotel. It doesn't matter if it's a nice, comfy bed. It's like I don't know. Maybe it's an anxiety thing. I don't really know what it stems from. But I'm in a new place, and like my whole psyche is aware that I'm somewhere new. So it just like kind of stays on edge all night. One little noise, I'm like, car doors shutting, which normally I wouldn't hear. So again, I don't sleep that great. When I started taking the Serenity Complex, I took it for the first time on this trip. And I'm going to tell you, I was on this trip with my whole family up in Washington, and I was staying in this, it wasn't a hotel, it was these barn beds. They were really cool. This barn was made for this. It wasn't just like this weird barn. Anyway, it was made for, it had every single little barn stall had its own little bedroom and bed, but it's open. So like there's curtains, but it's not like sound barrier wise, it's like wide open. So I'm thinking there's no way these Serenity Complex soft gels are going to help me. I mean, especially here, I'm going to hear my brother in the next barn stall probably snoring. And then there's like a couple other people in the other barn stall of the family and people upstairs walking around. I'm thinking, for sure, this isn't happening, right? So I take these Serenity Complex, and I didn't plan on talking about these, so I didn't bring them, but we're talking about sleep. So anyway, I take these 2 of them at that night. I slept solid the entire night, which is very rare anytime I travel. And you think, well, maybe that's coincidence, right? You're like, maybe it's coincidence. So the next night, I'm like, okay, we're going to try it again. I take them again. Solid. I slept the whole time. And the third night, I slept great the entire week we were on this trip in these barn stalls. And then I traveled. Where was the next trip I went to? I can't remember, but I remember the next trip I went to, I was like, okay, we'll see if these work again. And anyway, ever since then, every trip I go on, I can sleep the first night, which is huge for me. So those Serenity Complex will help. So again, let's review. So I've got Metabolism is nutrients, which are going to be healthy eating as well as vitamin supplements. Exercise. Metabolism is also going to be affected by your sleep. Okay, so those are the 3 things that affect metabolism. And now I'm going to go into, because again, this is all for healthy brain support. I am going to go into Slim and Sassy. So this is a metabolic blend to support a healthy metabolism. And it's something I love. How many have you guys ever tried the Slim and Sassy blend? So they make it in a complex gel capsule. Sorry, it's a veggie capsule. And you can take it like after your meal is what I suggest. They look like this. And they make it in an actual oil, which is how I prefer because I love the taste. I love flavoring my water. And let me tell you what's inside of here. It's got grapefruit, lemon, peppermint, ginger, and cinnamon. I mean, how amazing to have that in your body anyway, right? So there are things in, these are herbal teas and tinctures and herbs and spices that we use already in our juices and in our, foods. So Slim and Sassy, what I recommend, and then I'll tell you about this oil, but I like to put it in glass. So this is my glass bottle. I just buy this water and then use this bottle for like months after, and I do in this size, which is 25.3 ounces or 750 milliliters. I do about 5 drops. So in an 8 ounce, I would recommend only 2. It's very strong. I mean, you've got, cinnamon, spicy, right? And peppermint, which is strong, and ginger, which are strong. So an 8 ounce glass, I would do 2 drops of Slim and Sassy oil. If you don't enjoy the flavor, which some people do not, but I do, then you would take the capsules after a meal, which would be great. So let's talk about what this does for metabolism. It was formulated for metabolism, to speed up your metabolism and my speech, right? It powerfully suppresses appetite, and it helps your body cleanse harmful toxins. I'm just reading off of their little thing about it. And it helps lift and elevate mood. And what's funny is that says that on there. And I always just thought, oh, it's probably because of the grapefruit and lemon, which we know help lift mood, right? But what's funny is now I'm realizing it's so more complex than that. How cool is that? That the oils that help with your metabolism, what we just read, help with neuroplasticity and help with neural communication and learning and memory and mood. I mean, so amazing that your metabolism affects the brain that way. So to go into detail real quick on this, I've got just a few more minutes left here. Cinnamon helps to improve liver function, helps to improve insulin activity, inhibits new fat cells. It's called adipogenesis, and it helps with the adipogenesis process, which inhibits fat cell production, which is fine by me. Reduce risk of diabetes, which is again that insulin balance blood sugars in the body, and helps with serum lipid balance. Ginger, it says on here, helps with stimulating lipolysis, which is fat burning. I'm happy to have more of that too. And calms the stomach, which is great. Peppermint helps you feel full, helps reduce cravings and appetite, and energizing the body. In fact, can I just tell you, before I started this, I was yawning like crazy. I'm like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do my product talk? It's 2 p.m. in California, and I'm yawning. So I was like, okay, so I got my peppermint and put peppermint on the back, and I'm like perked up. So peppermint for the afternoon, awesome. And in your drinks, great. Okay, grapefruit helps reduce appetite and induces lipolysis, which is that fat burning process, and helps dissolve petrochemicals that are stored in the body. which are stored in fat cells, right? And stored in different tissue and things like that. Lemon helps reduce appetite, induces lipolysis, which is fat burning, and helps dissolve petrochemicals. So you can see this little bottle is incredible for metabolism. So my little experience with using this, again, I started using the vitamin pack, and then I started adding this in my water because I love the flavor. And what I noticed was energy boosted immediately, which is what? A result of what? Metabolism, right? When you're at that, so your metabolism boosts, you have more energy, which is amazing. So vitamins in this help boost my energy. But what I also noticed, I didn't change my workout plan. I didn't change my diet. I was already working out pretty normal and eating pretty healthy. I do an 80-20 diet. So 80% like everything healthy, organic, non-dairy, non-gluten, all that stuff, 80%. And so all I did, the only thing I did different was I added in the Slim and Sassy. And so what I did is I would do it in my water, and I did the vitamins. And within about, it was a healthy, I'm a small girl, so I didn't have a lot of weight, but I had a good 6 pounds that I had put on during college years that I never could get rid of. It just sat there. No matter how much I worked out, I couldn't get rid of it. Want to know what happened? I started taking this, I got rid of it. And it was slow. I only noticed it about 4 months in that I was like, okay, I'm a solid, 4 to 6 pounds different. And then about 6 months, I've been a solid, 6 pounds lighter since that time. I lost all that 6 pounds of just stored, probably, petrochemicals, right? Stored stuff, lost. It dissolved off my body. My metabolism increased, which was just amazing. And I've kept that off. And I've also been able to fit in pants that are smaller. So that's when it's not just water weight. So really, really cool. So I really suggest this for just maintaining a healthy metabolism, doing a Slim and Sassy in your water, or taking the capsules if you're not a fan of the taste. I think try the taste because I like it. And then if you don't, then you can buy the capsules. But I think it's great to have flavored water. So anyway, really cool. I got excited about metabolism and the brain and how it affects your brain. Share this with others. Let's all do our best to just increase our metabolism and tell others what they can do just to feel good by just adding ginger and peppermint and lemon and grapefruit and cinnamon in their water. How easy is that? Amazing. All right, everybody. Would love to have you type in what is a tidbit that really stuck out to you today. I love to hear your little bits of information that kind of spark your imagination and your excitement. So please type in what you've heard, and I'm going to look at your comments now. So thank you, Danette, for commenting on here. And I see that you guys have been commenting. You're welcome, Julia. I'm glad. Yeah, grapefruit's amazing. Just kind of looking at your comments. And remember, next week I won't be on. We're going to have 4th of July celebration here in the United States. I'll be with 50 teenagers having fun and doing a barbecue with them. So hope you guys all have an amazing 4th of July. I will go back and look at your little tidbits, but would love to hear the golden nuggets that stuck out to you because that helps me remember what I even said. All right, guys. Have a great day. Happy 4th of July. We'll see you next week or 2 weeks. Okay, bye.